Hey everyone, my name's Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I want to talk to you about A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I had this book pre-ordered for so long. I really like Danielle's writing. When she announced that she was having a Viking fantasy romance book published, I was like, yeehaw, add to cart. I have had this in my list on my Barnes & Noble account waiting to be shipped to me. I could not wait for it to get here. A bunch of people I knew got the ARCs for it, and I don't request ARCs anymore. So I've just been like antsy, waiting for it to get to me. And it finally did, and I read it right away. A Fate Inked in Blood is about Viking clans, and it's set in this kind of fantasy, but also real world where there are certain people who are born from specific gods who hold their powers in their blood. So the story follows a girl named Freya. She is in a bad marriage and kind of wants to just get out of it and enjoy her life, when one day the leader of her clan shows up and discovers that Freya has a hidden power that has been prophesized to bring the clans together under one king. So the king, or the clan's leader, he calls himself a king, takes her as his wife and uses her and her powers to try to unite the clans. But the clan leader Snorri has a son named Bjorn who Freya met prior to, and he is also a son of the gods with a power. She can't help but feel an attraction to him and thinks he has the same to her. So when people have been describing this book that I have seen online as stepmom falls in love with her stepson, I'm like, technically, but it's like a Viking takes a second wife type deal, and it makes sense. Okay, it sounds really weird when you say it, but it makes sense with the book. Star rating: I gave this one 3 stars. I was very in between 3 and 4, and the more I kind of sat on it and the more that I thought about it, I stuck with a 3. Spice rating is a 2. There is one full explicit scene and then a little bit of spice trickled here and there. It's not very spicy. The things that I have to say about this book have spoilers in them. So for a spoiler-free review, I do think it was a very enjoyable book. I read it very quickly. I wanted to keep reading it. There were some parts that were a little boring, and then it got exciting, and then a little boring, and then got exciting, kind of this back and forth with a little bit of repetitiveness, which is why I dropped it from a 4 to a 3. That was like the main reason. So I do think that Danielle's writing is extremely exciting, and I do love her romances. And so the romance part of this was what I was in the book for. The other kind of plot points, the wars and the taking over of the clans, I was a little bit less interested. And so maybe I think that that's when I got a little bit bored. Overall, it was enjoyable, and I will continue with the series. So a 3, it was good. I liked it. For a first book is not bad. I will continue the series, especially from an author that I really know and really like. I will continue that series for sure. Now, if you want to know the spoilery reasons why I gave it a 3 and not a 4, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. I did think this book was very predictable. Okay, I predicted that Bjorn was the traitor. I predicted that the Skald, the singer of the songs, that she was also in on it, which is kind of why Bjorn and her had this hate relationship, and he didn't want her singing any of his visions and his memories because she would give away that he was the traitor. So I knew that was coming. And so I spent the entire book going, okay, when's the shoe gonna drop? When is this going to happen? I just felt like I was reading through it quickly because I was waiting to get to the point where he was the traitor. I just knew that was the case. The miscommunication in the tent with her overhearing, it was okay, this was pretty basic. Very common that we've seen that exact thing play out as the misinterpretation, wrench in the storyline. So I did just feel like the parts that I got bored were the repetitive parts and kind of just waiting for what I had already known was going to happen. So it was enjoyable, but I just was reading to get to the end when he was going to betray her. And of course I knew it was going to be after they had sex. Like we knew that was going to happen because that's the way it always happens. It was just like, okay, when is this going to get through? I also knew that Snorri and Ylva, I don't know how to pronounce the names, okay? I didn't listen to it on audio. I knew that they obviously were involved in the killing of Bjorn's mother. I did not predict that she was still alive. I should have. Okay, but I did not predict that. I do think that was a nice little kink in the story at the end, and I am interested to see what happens with that storyline specifically. I know because, he betrayed her at the end that we're going to start the next book with them fighting, but then they're going to make up. So it just feels like a predictable, comfortable story to me. And that's why I gave it a 3. I liked it and it was good, but it wasn't anything that I hadn't seen before, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Freya also bothered me sometimes. And I think her wishy-washiness kind of got to me. I didn't feel like there was enough character growth with Freya. We watch her basically be used by her family since the very first page of the book. She finally gets to this point and I was like, go you, where she casts her family aside. She, tells off her mom. She tells off her brother. And then all of a sudden, the next page, she's right back into that place of, no, I have to protect them. And I just was like, why? We keep seeing this over and over again, how badly they treat you. And you finally get to a point where you're going to move on from them. And then you're right back there. That just happened over and over and over again. And I just felt like it was not enough growth for her. I wanted to see her get stronger as a character, not stay weak. Having the 2 powers being born of the 2 different gods, I thought was a really cool twist. I liked that a lot. I don't really know if I like this whole good, evil, warring powers in her. I don't know if I liked the way that it made her character kind of vengeful and not really that likable. So when you have somebody that betrayed you on the other side, and then now you have a kind of unlikable character that you're in their perspective, it just kind of feels weird. I liked the book. I would recommend the book. I want to continue the series, but there were parts of it that just didn't get me to an amazing 5 stars, an obsessed 5 stars. After sitting on the book for a week, I couldn't give it a full 4. It's a 3. I liked it. It was good, but those pieces of the story just kind of overshadowed the enjoyment that I had from reading it just a little bit. I hope you enjoyed A Fate Inked in Blood. If you have read it, hopefully you've read it. If not, I just spoiled the entire book for you. As always, I will put a link for the physical copy down in the description below. If you like reading fantasy and romance books, I post reviews on my channel weekly, so make sure to click like and subscribe if you want to be notified the next time I post a video. Thanks so much for chatting with me today about A Fate Inked in Blood. I'll see you guys next time.